Hey everybody, welcome to Popcast on the Rocks, episode 189, where a podcast talks about pop culture things that interest us. And sometimes there's whiskey. My name is John, and I'm joined as always by Andrea. How's it going?
Good, good. I see we both got the blue memo tonight for our subject of choice.
Yeah, yeah, just picked this up.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
say you got the official merch. I'm just like
mhm,
channeling a spirit.
yeah, sounds good. Yeah, um, yeah, absolutely. If you can't tell by the title, can't tell by the
Your
apparel.
shirt?
Yeah, Fantastic Four First Steps is the subject tonight. We've both seen it. We'll get into spoilers. So, yeah, that will be the big thing. Before that, we will talk about what we've been watching because it has been a while since
Mhm.
we've had a proper, regular, full on podcast on the Rocks episode.
For
And,
sure.
um, and we'll talk about drink holidays. But right before that, I want to do a little housekeeping, as they say. And just we had Ohio Anime podcast live
Mhm.
stream last week. A lot of people enjoyed it. It's doing well on this channel on Podcast on the Rocks. So just so everybody knows, if you want our live streams, Podcast on the Rocks everywhere, whether it's our anime show or this show,
Mhm.
um, whatever our discussions are, that's where the live streams go. The reason for that, other than simplicity on our end, is that you have to have a certain amount of subscribers in order to live stream. I don't know what that number is. Maybe, I forget what it is, but we have enough on this channel So that's where all the live streams will go.
Mhm.
Typically, after an anime show live stream, I hide it and then I trim it and put it on our anime channel, Ohio Anime. That still occurred this last week. I still did that, except for the hiding part because people were watching the live stream. If that's what's showing up, that's what you're finding. Okay. So that's just, you know, what we got there. My point is you can follow, subscribe, whichever way you want, trying not make it confusing. I apologize if it is. Reach out and ask us anything if you have
Yes.
questions yet. But yeah, podcasts on the
Yeah.
rocks, pretty much everywhere, including podcast directories. So yeah,
Yeah, follow us for whatever type of content you're interested in. Obviously, we're interested in both, but if anime is your thing, follow us because we support both on our channel.
yeah. You see, the thing is, if I unhide previous live streams for anime videos on this channel, then they all act like I just posted them.
Right,
Like they didn't
right,
happen before, they just went live
right.
now or whatever. So I don't really want to do that. So I think what we'll do from now on is live streams. They'll just stay up here on this channel, all the live streams of anything. So if you want to just watch it that way. But if you just specifically want anime content and it doesn't have to be live, it's in the video formats or shorts or whatever, that's our Ohio Anime channel. You'll find it there. So that's that.
Thanks for the
Andrea.
housekeeping.
Yeah, you bet. Um, Housekeepers hopefully didn't mess with the whiskey cabinet. What should we be pulling from our drink cart this week, Andrea?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it would be an odd week to be messing with the liquor cabinet because you'd have to look for very specific things since the
Mm,
start of August. But if you're looking for it, August 1st was two holidays. It was Albarino Day, which is a specific kind of wine grown in a specific region in Spain.
okay.
So again, if you're looking for something, very, very certain and very cornered of the market, that would be that. Otherwise, you can go a little bit broader and look at International Beer Day, which was also on August 1st. Following that, it was Mead Day on August 2nd, which should get you in the mood for Renaissance festivals if you're lucky, as we are in Minnesota, to have an excellent one
Hmm.
with a wide variety of mead available there. But you can pregame it on August 2nd. Otherwise, you can go with something a little more general. National White Wine Day was August 4th, followed by August 7th, returning to beer. It was IPA Day. And then again, getting really narrow, August 9th was Baijiu Day.
Okay.
So that is
All right.
what's kicking off the month of August.
Perfect. Are you celebrating any of these holidays?
I am. I'm celebrating something general, National White Wine Day.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Sagrona.
What have you got for us,
Well,
John?
I am feeling a kinship with our technical director Alan here because I also have a surly.
Ooh.
Um,
Ooh, cool can.
I know, finally a can reminiscent of the olden days of surly,
Yeah.
right? But this is a darkness cola. So
Okay.
it's surly darkness, but with like cola nut and stuff. So
So
I haven't
beer
tried
with
it yet.
energy?
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any caffeine in it, but barrel aged imperial stout with cola flavoring, uh,
Oh, okay, okay.
demerara syrup, vanilla, and orange peel added.
Ooh, that sounds pretty
So
good.
I haven't tried it yet. It does smell like a porter or some sort of stout.
Verdict?
Hmm. I don't know. I do get the cola element as well.
Okay. Is it
I don't know
pretty
if I like it
carbonated?
though. Yep.
That seems odd for a stout, I gotta say. A stout is usually a little more, I mean, not perfectly, but a little bit more on the flatter side.
Yeah, it's not the same as like having a Coke, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm gonna sip it.
Okay. I'm gonna
I'm gonna sip
periodically
it.
check in with you as we go through the podcast and see what you think.
Yeah.
See if your tastes
There's a bit of a like a
evolve.
numbingness going on in my tongue. I don't know.
Mm. It's old school, cola. It's cocaine.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's quite affordable then for that. Wow.
Yeah,
Great
right,
deal.
right.
Well, anyways, that's so I guess that's is International Beer Day mean like it's a holiday celebrated internationally, or is it international beers?
I think it's supposed to be international beers, but really, I
Okay.
mean, you could be pretty lax with the interpretation, I think.
Okay. All right.
Because
Well,
I mean, anywhere
that's
you are, many things could be international.
hmm yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I'm drinking. Surly Darkness Cola. And Andrew's
Interesting.
got some white wine there.
Mhm.
And yeah, Alan shared the thing with cola nut. I guess maybe this doesn't have. I thought this was supposed to have cola nut in it, but maybe it doesn't. Just as cola flavoring. So
Okay.
shame. Anyways, that's our drinks. Let us know if you're joining in the refreshments or celebrating any of these drink hung holidays. Andrea, what have you been watching these last few weeks
Mhm.
other than
Yeah.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've actually, watched more anime in in the recent weeks, so my regular pop culture watch list is a bit thin. Um, but I've managed to squeeze a few things in. I finished HBO's The Gilded Age season 3, which
Okay.
just ended this past Sunday, and it was fantastic. So
Hmm.
Gilded Age is written and created by Julian Fellows, who did Downton Abbey, and he is not doing America dirty here in this series. It took a little bit to find its footing, but season 3 was amazing. It was really excellent. And it's got a stellar cast who make the most, even when, the script might not always be exactly what you wish it. But
Hmm.
some fantastic acting really keeps it going. So I've really been enjoying that series, and it has been renewed for a fourth season.
Okay.
So I'm exceptionally glad about that. And two particular lead actors who I think are fantastic are Carrie Coon, who is also in the latest season of White Lotus, and Christine
Hmm.
Baranski, who is exceptional in everything she touches. So yeah,
I wonder
highly recommend this show.
who's that. Who's the second and last person you mentioned there that's in White Lotus?
Carrie Coon.
Hmm.
I
I guess I
don't
don't remember the name,
remember
but I wonder who
her
she plays.
character name because I haven't gotten there in White Lotus yet. I'm still
Hmm.
uh making my way through season 1, but hold on.
Okay, Alan
She
shared a picture. Uh,
she's
is
Lori Duffy is
she
her name.
in the Marvel movie as well? Yeah, she is one of those like alien people, Proxima Midnight in Avengers Infinity War.
Yes, yes. Oh god, that's the other one I keep forgetting because it's so random.
And Alan says Mother in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire. I did see Afterlife,
Yes.
but I don't
Yes.
remember that. But
So yeah,
okay, well, she's good in
she's
White
kinda
Lotus so far.
sneaky.
Really good.
She's kinda sneaky. She's in more things than you think, and,
Yeah.
this particular series really gives her ample opportunity to showcase her talent. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
highly recommend, like I said.
Is this is in the
Another
20s? Like the
uh,
1920s?
a not quite yet. I think they're gonna get there,
Okay.
but it's like early 1900s, 1910s.
Okay.
They'll get there because, another prominent family who is featured in the show is the Astors, and they have not
Mm,
mentioned, like, the Titanic debacle yet. So it's
okay.
not exactly clear what year we're in, but we haven't gotten there.
Okay. Cool.
Or we've so far past it that they haven't mentioned it, but it's kind of, like, hard to discern right now.
Sure.
But yeah, either way, highly recommend it. And if you're into period dramas like I am, I also just started watching The Buccaneers on Apple TV. I mean, it's a pretty loose, you know, interpretation of a period drama because of course they have a lot of modern elements, some modern music. It's kind of
Mm.
along the lines of like Bridgerton in that
Mhm.
sense where there's some blending of classic and modern elements, but so far I really like it. I've watched 2 episodes and it's really good.
Do you
And
like
I
you like
hear
that kinda twist, or do you prefer more straight line?
um it depends. I prefer it generally more straight line, but I can appreciate small modern twists.
Okay.
Like, if like music is a thing, like it's kind of like Westworld. They did a lot of reinterpretations of modern music in a classic sense or in a sense that would have been appropriate for the time period. So smaller elements like that I can appreciate. Sometimes you can really get things that are just wild and out of pocket and too anachronistic for your taste. But
Mhm.
so
Like
far,
Sinners,
Yes.
couple
Yes,
elements.
there
Yeah.
were some elements there for sure, but yeah, so far only being 2 episodes in, it's not bothering me, but I
Okay.
could see it getting a little out of hand further down the line, but yeah,
Nice.
I like it so far. Other things shifting over to a platform called Netflix, who I'm sure most of you have heard of.
What? Mm.
What? So new. Um, I've watched both a series and a movie that are fairly popular as of right now. I started the first episode of season 2 of Wednesday, which very good. I would have minor
Oh,
complaints about the second season start. We
okay.
dive right back in with all of our characters who are pretty on point. The show does a great job of like catching us up over, what's maybe happened over their summer break as they head into the new school year. Um, Maybe my only complaint, actually, my only two complaints would be one, the show does tend to have a formulaic set of dialogue for Wednesday. They keep
Mm.
coming up with very interesting metaphors that she uses, but it's the same setup,
Okay.
so you can kind of predict sometimes what she's going to
Sure.
say. So they maybe might need to get a little bit creative there. And honestly, the casting of Wednesday's family is particularly excellent. They are all now at school with her in a plot twist that makes very believable sense. But her father, Gomez, is, I have to say, a very weak spot in casting. And that's very
Mm.
unfortunate because Catherine Zeta
Yeah.
Jones as Morticia Adams shines. She is
Okay.
fabulous, but she does not have a great partner.
Oh, that's too bad.
So that's honestly my only complaint. I cannot remember the
He
actor,
brings
which
so much
probably
li
isn't
like,
a
in the
good
movies
sign.
and stuff for sure, in the show as
Yeah,
well, of course, but he brings so much life.
Yes, Luis Guzman. He is
Mm.
too soft. He is not
Okay.
energetic and passionate. He's very
Okay.
soft spoken. His energy is very muted, and such
Mm.
it's such a hard thing to come, from my millennial background with Raul Julia as Gomez to this
Yeah.
guy and his casting and
Okay.
his like softness. It really bothers me.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah, I
think
mean, I
honestly
definitely recognize this
that's
guy.
yeah, and I don't mean to disparage him on the whole as an actor. It's just this role is, I feel, very unfortunately miscast. Or
Hmm.
or his take on it
Right.
is not hitting.
Wants to be too different or something. Sometimes people I can see
Yeah.
people being afraid of, like, an iconic role
Yeah.
and, like, I don't wanna copy, or whatever,
Right. I
and,
gotta put my own stamp on it, and
then going
yeah,
too far.
this just isn't it. Everybody else
Hmm.
is so good, and he's just, yeah. Anytime he's on the
Okay.
screen, I just feel it's just too soft for everybody else's, like, full 100% energy and commitment. So,
Yeah.
but on the whole, I would absolutely, again, recommend this series. It's very good. I've only watched the first episode. Only the first 4 are out of the season, and they're gonna do, like, a half and half. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Watch
Yeah,
it.
it really
It's
should have been
great.
a show that I've gotten into. I've always
You
enjoyed
should.
Adam's Family stuff.
You should.
Um, okay. I read a
Um,
comment the other day that was the first time I've ever heard someone really saying something not good about the show. They're like, Wednesday continues to completely misunderstand the character. And I haven't seen it, so I didn't click on it and go further than that. I just saw that.
hmm.
And it's like, oh, I really thought everybody liked Wednesday. I don't know. Hadn't heard anything bad about it. So
Yeah, I mean, I would have to know the context of that comment to respond to that because
yeah.
in my view, that's a no, but
Hmm.
I mean, you know, explain and maybe we can have a discussion. But yeah,
Yeah.
from my view, Jenna Ortega does a great job as Wednesday.
Cool. Very good.
Yeah, the other Netflix offering I recently watched was Happy Gilmore 2,
You keep
which
saying Netflix. Is this like Blockbuster?
what do you mean?
No, you said before Netflix. I think everybody's heard of. Yeah, I got
Oh, I
you.
just mean like, kind of sorting by
Yeah, yeah,
streaming platform. I did HBO Max, I did Apple TV, and now I'm into to Netflix, kind of trying to sort my watching habits by platform
yep.
because God, there's so much out there. But yeah,
Nice.
Happy Gilmore 2, Chris and I watched. He was very pleased.
Okay.
We both obviously grew up watching Happy Gilmore and a lot of Adam Sandler fare.
Hmm.
And Happy Gilmore 2 does a pretty credible job of carrying on the story of the original. There are a lot of celebrity cameos. Um,
Okay.
Not to spoil too much, but Haley Joel Osment has roles both in Happy Gilmore 2 and in Wednesday, the
Mm.
opening of the second season. Um, so he's kind of everywhere right now playing, again, not to spoil too much, but I really don't think it is, playing a villain. Um, and he's doing a great job. He just looks like, my God, I'm having so much fun all over the
Okay.
place.
Good.
And he's really like a star cameo in both vehicles.
Very
But yeah,
nice.
Happy Gilmore 2 is pretty solid. Um, it's definitely like a cameo heavy, lots of random stars making an appearance, and it relies a bit heavy on that, but for the most part is good, easy, fun viewing.
Just fun. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, I'd heard lots of mixed stuff about it, I guess. But a lot of people saying just like if you like the first one, it's fun. It's a fun trip down
it
memory
is.
lane sort of callback
It is.
thing that's just
Yeah,
enjoyable.
it's not
Like,
gonna be winning any Oscars and, like, it's not
mhm,
award fair, but
sure.
it's fun. It's capable enough, of delivering a good watching experience to the audience. So it's solid. It's fine. And it's,
Okay.
gonna call out some nostalgia, and Chris had a very good time spotting all the random cameos from, like the obvious ones to the like hidden, like this random fan. It's this,
Sure.
WNBA player and blah blah blah. So yeah.
Uh, okay. Nice. Well, that's a good assortment there. A couple
It
that
is.
feel right up your alley, and then a couple,
Yes.
couple different ones, couple of things, remakes
Couple
or
of mixes.
continuations or whatever from the
Mhm.
olden days now. Yeah.
Mhm.
The from the late 1900s.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Not I
um
can't even say from the aughts, it's from the 1900s.
yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Very good. Yeah,
You've
I
been
haven't
busy.
seen
Holy
any of
cow,
those
look at your
things.
list.
Well, but this has been I like again, this has been a few weeks. I'm not gonna go through it all, but I've been just say that I've been reading quite a few comic books.
Yes, you
Um,
have.
I've been had been reading Absolute Batman for a while, trying that, seeing and I have like, mixed opinions on Scott Snyder's work
Mhm.
historically, but he's doing this and it's been good and fun so far. Um
Mhm.
and then that kind of led me down to into some other things I thought I'd try. Hey, why not give a shot to a few other Absolute series? So I started Absolute Green Lantern and Absolute Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Um
sure.
and they're promising so far, you know. Just trying to keep an open mind. The idea with the Absolute line is there really are starting over reinventions of these characters. They kind of do whatever they
Mhm.
want starting over.
Mhm.
And so things can be very different. And they are in many, many ways. So I've read 1 through 5 of Absolute Green Lantern. Pretty enjoyable. Art's pretty good. And let's see. Maybe I didn't put it in here yet. Absolute Wonder Woman, but I read the first couple of that.
Okay.
And yeah. And then Batman Dark Patterns. So I've read one
What
through
is this now?
six. So it's another comic, and it's this new series that I hadn't heard of. All of a sudden, it was there, and there's like 7 issues available,
Mhm.
and it looked really cool. Has really fun art, and it's very about the like murder mystery element. They do a really
Okay.
good job of having like messed up crime scenes that
Mhm.
Batman and Gordon have to deal with. And there's a new sort of like, he's not the mortician, but I guess something like that. He's got some sort of background that the Gordon uses to look at some of the bodies and stuff for him. And it, it
Okay.
it has like a new villain in there that's cool. Finally, a new villain in Batman, and then they reuse and kind of do a new story on an older, less used Batman villain as well. Um, so it's not perfect. I'll say there's some moments where Batman's in the daylight that I don't love. Um,
Mm.
some things where maybe he should have been a little tougher and whatever. But ultimately, I'm really liking it. I'm liking this sort of back to basics Batman solving a messed up, horrible crime scene thing. There aren't any other
Mhm.
Bat family members or whatever. It's not
Mhm.
saving the world or anything. And then we have some new villains and stuff. So again, I'm 1 through 6. I have 7. I think eight's coming soon, if I recall correctly. Um, but yeah, I should bring some of the art and show you sometime. There's some cool. It's a unique style, and they take really good advantage of the comic book page. A lot of people they have a story they want to tell, and they don't really understand comics or something, so it's sort of just like panel, 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 panel. You know,
Mhm.
up top, left, right, down, and people that kind of get used to or are good at the craft, I think, and care about telling comic book stories, get inventive with, not only leading your eye, but like how the panels and what pops over onto the other thing, and like it makes it a unique thing, not just a storyboard. And so they
Sure.
do a good job of the layouts with that as well, which I think can be an underappreciated thing if you're a newcomer to comics or something like that. So
Sure.
um, so far, highly recommend Batman Dark Patterns. So, and I would guess they'd start collecting them in graphic novels, 6 issue graphic novels or something like that. Um, and then we're going to Universal Studios and they're doing Halloween Horror Nights. Been continuing through the Universal horror monster classics and stuff like that. So watched uh this last couple weeks Frankenstein,
Yeah, I was gonna
Dracula,
ask you about
and
that.
The Bride of Frankenstein. So I didn't have that one on
Okay.
here, but I did just watch that one too. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you watched 1931 versions of these.
yeah, the originals.
How did
I
you
mean,
find them?
Um,
In comparison, I mean,
Frankenstein,
like,
yeah,
have you watched any, more recent monster movies? Like, I feel like, who didn't watch, like, Gary Oldman in,
right.
Dracula? You know what I mean? Like,
That's my touchstone
how
for
did
that for sure.
right.
And then Nosferatu. So I've seen more Dracula things. Um,
Sure. I mean, he's a little more common to make. He's easier.
yeah.
He's an easier, monster because he's more human, of course.
Dracula, he does such a great job of being Dracula. I can see how that became iconic. I can see how
Mhm.
that look solidified the look of Dracula. And just his like creepy expressions, his like, you know, stoicism and sharp movements and like all of that is really good. So what I find in these movies is like being their old as they are, early 30s, mid 30s, they are um, not the greatest in some regard. Like Dracula to me was missing music. Like there were moments I'm thinking, oh my
Mm,
God, if you had like the organ right now as he's, but they keep it
sure,
really silent,
sure.
versus
Yep.
Frankenstein, they have more music and stuff. But yeah, so I get I can appreciate a lot of things about them. Frankenstein, I appreciate the like sadness they bring to that character. They do a pretty darn good job of that. And I think especially in The Bride of Frankenstein, have you seen that one
Mhm.
at all? Bride of
Not, no.
Frankenstein? That's that of between these and then The Mummy, which I saw earlier. I do think Bride of Frankenstein is the best.
Okay.
Um, there's a scientist in there that's pretty wacky, and some things are a little unbelievable, but at the same time the drama of Frankenstein's monster is good, and
Mhm,
again he's played so well. So
mhm.
I definitely can find things to appreciate in them, um even if there's some even if they are quite old. So
Sure.
oh,
Okay,
also on the
interesting.
horror thing, because of this, I watched this part 2 of Friday the 13th. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I
Like
hadn't
old
seen that
school
either.
Friday the
Yeah,
13th, right? Yeah, okay.
right. Yeah, 'cause I watched the original a while back and now part
Yep,
2.
yep,
Part 2 was better. Part 2 was better.
yep, yep, I would agree with that.
Um, I would say that, these camp counselors, I hope they were gonna have a dress code enforced when the kids showed up, you know?
Never.
I don't know if your tits should be hanging out or not, but, um, yeah. But it was
Can't
fun.
because how would he know who to kill? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
That's his
yeah.
sign, you know?
Mhm.
If you're gonna dress like that,
Yeah.
that's the signal that you must be killed.
It was yeah, part 2 was a lot of fun. It was surprise they shocked me with some of the kills, like, they managed to pull off moments for kills and people that got killed in unexpected ways and at times I
Yeah.
didn't see coming, so, they win for that. Ended very kind of open. I'm surprised not more people died, like, they left a lot of people there yet, so, yeah. But excited to continue that franchise.
Leaving it open to sequels.
Yeah, of which obviously there are many. So yes.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yep.
That's,
Um,
I mean, not to bring us back to previous weeks, but that's how I felt in watching Jurassic World Rebirth. So many more
mm,
people made it to the end of the movie than I expected.
sure.
I thought
Yeah.
more people were going to bite it. So I was like, well, okay, I guess I mean maybe we're gonna leave this door open. But like
Yeah.
the dad hurting his ankle, I was like, man, you're toast. Uh,
No, it's a
fear our fearless boatman for hire who leads one of our dinosaurs away from everybody else. I was like, he's gonna
Marshall
bite it.
Ali, yeah.
No. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
sometimes movies can really surprise you with how many people are left alive rather than how
Yeah,
many people have died.
yeah. Of which I was refreshed in that movie. I was like, okay, happy ending.
Yeah, I mean, not
Happy ending.
necessarily a bad thing. I don't want to be arguing
Mhm,
against human life here, but
mhm.
also, I just sort of like expected a higher body count. Was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
survival.
yeah, mhm,
So yeah, sometimes that can in and of itself be a good twist.
yeah. One more thing back in the comic book space I wanna mention because,
Oh
we're
man, I
gonna
thought you
get
were gonna go back to Land Before Time.
No, yeah, it's
Speaking of
nah, that's right.
dinosaurs, I thought I
Right.
provided you the perfect segue.
Yeah, okay, speaking of dinosaurs, in Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell, Matt Murdock is old. He's an old
Okay,
man that's lost his powers.
he's a
So,
dinosaur.
yeah, it's this mini series that's w- only 3 issues, and
And you
it tells
read
quite a bit of.
only number 3?
No, I've read the third one just
Oh,
came
okay,
out,
okay. I see,
so I
okay,
just
okay.
read it this last week or whatever. But it was. I don't love the art. It's unique, but I didn't love the art. But I liked the premise. It's sort of an old man Logan type of story, but with Daredevil.
Mhm. Sure.
And Daredevil, yeah, he doesn't have his powers. We're in the future and things are rough, and he like basically runs into Captain America, like making one last stand trying to save this girl. And an explosion goes off, and he has to help get the girl out. And this explosion brings back Daredevil's powers, but it's clearly temporary. So he's trying to make the best of what he has left of his abilities here as an old man. Um,
Mhm.
he's got some stuff to get done yet. So it's a
Okay.
short thing, and it's got returning people you might expect in a Daredevil comic, some of them. And yeah, ultimately, I had fun with this potential future story of Daredevil. So it's only 3 issues. So
Is
yeah,
it just to clarify, is that he is still blind but without powers?
correct.
Or okay, okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
so
solely
he's an
related to
old.
the powers, not to sight at all.
Yeah, so he's an old timer, and he's like he's been helping out in soup kitchens and stuff like that. He's retired from being a lawyer and all that now and whatever. So yeah,
It's a very Matt Murdock thing to do in your old age.
yeah,
Still give back to your
right,
community in Hell's Kitchen.
yeah, exactly. Okay, well, that's a comic book thing. I covered a lot of comic book things. I used to do
Did.
a comic book show on this, but just not having the time for that right now. So we'll just talk about them here. And now we're going to talk about comic book based movie, Fantastic
Yeah.
Four: First Steps. Um,
Mhm.
Andrea, what's your history with the Fantastic Four?
Oh gosh, Fantastic Four. Zero comic book history. Literally the first thing I've ever watched or, consumed vis-a-vis the Fantastic Four is the old school movies with Jessica Alba. I can't remember how to say his name. Like Ian
Michael
or
Chiklis?
Eowyn Gruffid, Michael Chiklis. Yeah, like it's like Ioan. I don't know how to spell or how to I know how to spell it obviously, but say it. Who played Mr. Fantastic? Reed
Must just
Richards.
be Ian, right?
But it's like Ioan, so I don't know like for certain, but yes. And then yeah, of course Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm, the Human
Yep.
Torch. Yeah. That was my first encounter with the Fantastic Four.
Okay. Actually, I see that Alan spelling this out here. It is Welsh, and I did hear it's pronounced today, but I don't remember.
Right? Like,
It's
okay,
like
so I spelled it correctly. I just don't know how to say it
yeah, it's like Ian.
correctly.
It's like Ian Griffith or something like that. Like completely not what it looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah, you're safe there.
I'm close anyway. But yeah, so that
Mhm.
that was my first
Okay.
encounter with the Fantastic Four. Julian McMahon playing Victor Von Doom. Yeah, I think I've touched on every potential high level name in that movie. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was my
Okay.
introduction. And at the time it's definitely something that I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, and it was very entertaining. And there were several moments where I thought like these actors fit certain parts of this. And then there were moments where I was like, ugh, it's a little cringe even at the time, you know. So yeah, so I always thought like Fantastic Four was solid-ish, but could be better. And I feel
Okay.
like Fantastic Four First Steps is that, like, next level, like, this is better.
Okay. So you didn't see the other reboot then?
I did, yes.
Oh,
And I was not a fan. I
okay.
yeah. I felt like it was too serious. There was very few light moments. There was very few instances of fun, and it was just a little bit it was tough to watch, to be quite honest. It was
Okay.
a talented cast, but it was too dark. It was too dark.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I never saw that one. I'm in the same boat in like kind of thoughts of the first couple Fantastic Four movies. They were fun at the time, type of thing. Like I had some exposure to Fantastic Four. I don't know when
Okay.
it was the what was the first. It was a lot of like guest appearances in other cartoons, kind of thing
Yeah,
that they show up.
I suppose I should say, yeah. I mean, I hadn't not been not exposed to them or, like, not heard of them at all, but it just
Hmm.
wasn't like I had sat down and really focused on the Fantastic Four and their
Yeah,
storyline.
I have boxes of X-Men comics, but Fantastic
Ooh,
Four, I basically have these.
okay.
So it's not many. Um,
Yeah,
and
but still something.
yeah, I'm rereading them. This one's pretty good. So I want to get the follow up to it. I don't know why. I basically for a couple, I'm like skipping an issue or two in between each of these. So that
Okay.
makes it great. So, yeah, they're kind
Let
of,
your
they're
mind
always fun
fill in the blank.
throwbacks. Yeah. They got like they had the two towers symbol on here for a while.
Mhm.
Remembrance, like ribbon and
Yeah,
stuff like
for
that.
sure.
So, um, but yeah. So I have,
And had
five
you read
issues.
these Had you read these,
Y-
before watching the
y-
movie, or
I don't know. So when did the first Fantastic Four movie that we're talking about in recent history here come out? Do we know? So I'll look up the 2005. So yeah, this was
okay, I was gonna
2002.
say the aughts.
Yeah, this was 2002. So yes, I have preceded by
Okay.
3 years.
Yes, pretty
I
tight.
was at least reading some Fantastic Four. Um, but exposure to them, like I say, and other things. And
Mhm.
then I want to show off this is a piece of artwork. I drew the Human Torch as a kid.
That's awesome.
So
I love that you have this.
I'm not sure the age of this, but also probably the aughts, you know.
Love it.
So yeah, that's that. Um, and then probably my oldest thing. I'll look at the date of this. So
Okay.
we actually didn't go to Pizza Hut very much, but occasionally, and one time we went, they were like, you could get this comic book for free or with a pizza or something like that.
Love it.
And now there's no Fantastic Four on the front here,
Sure.
but this is maybe my earliest memory of being exposed to any of the Fantastic Four.
Dun, dun,
Um,
dun.
so on the back, Human Torch.
Yes.
So
Very
Spider-Man, Iron
cool.
Man, Firestar, and the Human Torch ablaze in the embers of vengeance. So this is
Okay.
1994. So this is
And is this
earlier.
is this like
This
a
is totally.
full comic, story, or
It's a
is this
l-
just like a check out these heroes of Earth kind of thing?
yeah, it's a story, but it's a little
Okay.
shorter. It's a little
Okay.
shorter, but it's its own story. So I gotta
Okay.
find Human Torch in
Yeah,
here.
find Torch
Here
here,
we
yeah.
go.
There's our Johnny.
Um, Upstairs, my control over all flames should help me make short work of these fires.
Cool. His web of fire there.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, I remember thinking Iron Man was really cool looking in this at the time.
Mhm.
Um, oh, what's this here? This is a puff your way to coolness. Um, I know, as Spider Man says, not certain, Shellhead, but I do know one thing. It sure isn't cool to me. So it's a sign of the guy smoking or whatever at the. Um,
Oh,
so,
substance abuse. Interesting.
and here's a Human Torch, like kind
Yeah.
of info thing on. So
Huh.
yeah, that's probably my earliest look at anyone from the Fantastic Four,
Okay,
1994.
sure.
Free Pizza Hut comic.
Love
Anyways,
it.
that's my yeah, that's my little bit of Fantastic Four background. Um and then, things proceeded to, like, they Marvel gave up the rights to the
Mhm,
movies. That's why you had Fox making the movies. They were
mhm.
subpar, entertaining enough, whatever. And then we nothing and a reboot. And during all this time, we had they tried to kind of Marvel sort of tried to bury Fantastic Four, which is sad because well, they
Yes-ish.
didn't like do comics, they didn't do cartoons, they just didn't do
Mhm.
this stuff. They didn't like promote them
Yeah.
because, hey, that'd be letting the other company make money off of them.
Mhm.
So things could change then when they got the rights back. But
Yeah, I mean, yes-ish, because, as Chris was asking me, he was like, "Oh, how was Fantastic Four?" when I went to go see it, and he was like, "What did you think of, Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic versus, John Krasinski?" He was like, "What do
oh,
you think about, like, that the comparison there to his movie?" And I was like, "Well, actually, that isn't a movie on its own. It's just like him making a cameo as Reed Richards in,
yep.
Doctor Strange."
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so I mean, there was like a weird kind of like blip of acknowledging Fantastic Four while also not making a movie there.
But that's later. That's once they had the rights
It
back
is,
again.
yes, yes, yes.
So it's
But
kind of like
it was an
X-Men,
odd, yeah, it was still like a half sidelining, I felt like.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't see that movie, but I thought it sounded like a kind of a shame to bring him back for that, what it
Mhm.
amounted to in there. Um,
Indeed,
but
indeed.
anyways, I guess my point is, like, it's sad that the Fantastic Four, that to my understanding had such a huge impact on
Mhm,
what Marvel Comics became, kind of never was able to manage to get either, again, a really successful cartoon or comic
mhm.
line or movie, or
Yeah.
video game or whatever, anything. And we have this movie now that I was interested in, but wasn't
Mhm,
like chomping at the bit to see. I was actually going
mhm.
to be going to the Naked Gun, but the people we were
Okay.
going with were like, you know, a friend had his girlfriend in town. She wanted to see this. So I was like, okay, that's fine. They didn't know what Naked Gun was. We'll go with this. So we went to this, and I was I was shocked. I was
Mhm,
very pleasantly surprised. So,
mhm.
um,
Yeah, well
did
done,
you
Marvel.
feel similarly, or you're like,
Yes-ish. I mean, it wasn't like negative, but I was very cautious going in. Obviously, I was lured in by some very good casting, and I loved the idea much as I love, speaking of another thing we talk about often, I loved the idea of a time period piece, much in the way that I'm excited about like the idea of like a time period piece for James Bond. Please
Right.
do it. Please do it. Side plug. So so yeah, so I just thought like, hey, this is, something genuinely interesting and refreshed rather than, trying to take this too modern and trying to build off of unsuccessful other franchises or semi-successful other franchises, to be fair to our early aughts. Um, but yeah, I thought this was gonna be good, I hoped, but Marvel has also been really hit or miss lately. So it could have gone either way. And I was pleasantly surprised after coming out of this movie. I was like, yes, this is the thing I'm looking for. Is it perfect? Is it flawless? No. But on the whole, am I satisfied? Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, I um I thought it was I thought it was silly to cast Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, especially when you had Krasinski. It's such a
Right.
perfect match, such a
Yeah.
perfect fit. To go Pedro Pascal, especially when look, a lot of people love him, and that's fine. A lot of people also are like tired of seeing his face.
Mhm.
So, and me included,
Fair.
I'm tired of seeing his face.
I am
But
not, but it's fair to want a break.
right, yeah. Um, there's actors I really like, and I don't see them in that much. Um,
Mhm.
Pedro Pascal, like, I mean, for me, it was like he peaked in Game of Thrones. Like that was his best thing right there is Game of
Ooh.
Thrones. And Oberyn Martell, great. That was great.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, yes, and also you haven't seen Last of Us.
no, I haven't. Nope, I haven't seen Last of Us. Nope.
Which whatever you think of that is some very fine acting by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Watching this, like he did a really good job. Like
Mhm,
I think that and I think that people will underestimate how good a job he did
mhm,
because obviously it's in partnership with the writing, but he was properly stoic, Mr. Fantastic. It's like
mhm,
I wrote in my notes somewhere like this idea that like they had the same room of writers for Marvel movies after or something, and it was kind of like how they had the same writers for Doctor Who for too long, it felt like. And so anytime they'd write someone really smart, like Bruce Banner or Tony Stark, they just got to talk a mile a minute. They just like, I'm really, so how I express intelligence is through rapid fire speaking and
mhm.
kind of it, Mr. Fantastic, complete
Yes,
opposite. And I bought the, like, that his intelligence and the way he thinks is a burden upon him, you
yes,
know?
it's a
And then,
hindrance.
so yeah. So as great of an asset as it is, being the smartest man ever born, it also is tough with how his mind works.
Mhm.
And the
Yes,
accent he chose for him as well was very good. So,
yes.
uh, for someone that I would not have cast and I don't need to see him again, top marks, top marks. So I
That
thought that
is
was
too bad because you will be seeing him again, as we find out at the end of the movie. You stayed for that, right?
uh yeah, I stayed for the end
To
stuff.
to know that Fantastic Four will return in
Oh,
Avengers
well, of course.
Doomsday?
Well, yes, of course, of course, of
Okay,
course.
okay, I was like,
I mean,
why is this shocking to you, John?
yeah, no, no, yeah.
So you
It
will
would be
you
very
will see
weird,
him again.
obviously, to yeah, right. Yeah, and as long as that's written with the same kind of understanding, I was reading some stuff recently this week about kind of the creator of X-Men '97, kind of really going at his NDA is
Yeah.
up, kind of really going at Marvel and their creative process and stuff like that. And but it's like I don't know. I hear you saying this, but I think there's a lot of what you're saying that doesn't seem to translate to this movie. Like I've listened to the director of this movie speak now and stuff, and he can name specifically his comic book influences. This was not a project where they're like, don't read the comics, hey actors, don't look at the source material, none of that stuff
Mhm.
was a thing. So I don't know. I appreciate a lot of the thought that went into this. Again, the period piece element of it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
I left the theater very happy, shockingly very
Mhm.
happy. So,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree. Like, even though it started out strong, there were just several points throughout the movie where I just was, like, gut checking myself, being like, "This is still really good." Like, they're still making a really good movie because you're so scared with Marvel content now, you know? It can
Mhm.
really just, miss the mark. So,
Yep.
yeah, leaving the theater this happy, I was just like, "Man, awesome job."
Mhm. Yeah. Um, what'd you think of the other cast? The other 3 and Silver Surfer and
Yeah.
Galactus. Those kind of the big ones we gotta.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby are really, the big names that drew me in, and I thought, like, man, these are exceptionally talented actors, so I'm very excited about that. The other 2 I was less familiar with, but Thing, is played by an actor who's in The Bear,
And
and I
Andor.
cannot and Andor, yes, sorry. But I can't remember his name right now. It's like a
I'll put it
first name
here.
plus a hyphenated
Yeah.
last. Thank you.
Eban Moss Bachrach. I don't I don't know how it's said.
Yes. Um, yeah, he was wonderful. I literally my notes from the movie is I was like literally old school writing paper notes. Is Thing looks and sounds fantastic. Haha, I didn't try to make that pun. Um, so yeah, I thought both his style was a little bit more
Mhm.
realistic, but still like unique. And his whole personality just it was just very effortless. He just gelled well with everybody. They had such great chemistry. I thought especially I noticed it with, Johnny, Human Torch, but really with everybody, he just had this like easy give and take. And so I really thought the interrelationships between all of the cast worked so well. They gelled so naturally. I just was really
Yeah.
convinced about them as a group. And
Yep.
however wild the Fantastic Four seems going into space together as like this brainiac with his like childhood best friend, his wife and her brother. They made it believable enough together with their interaction and their kind of like unique areas of expertise to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, adding a little bit of expertise is good because I'm reading from the beginning the Fantastic Four, and they're kind of like,
Mhm.
"Well, I'm your fiance, and I'm not leaving your side." It's like, okay,
I
just come to space
know.
with me, come to space then. And then
Because you could just do
Johnny's like,
that.
"Well, that's my sister, so we're just."
I just
uh,
really wanna
but
go because I'm a daredevil and I think space is like a frontier I could conquer. So let's
yeah,
go back.
so it's like, they have, uh, yes, the chemistry is good because other Marvel movies or other worse writers would try really hard to beat you over the head with, see, this is their relationship. So it'd be like
Yes.
Johnny and Thing, like if Johnny and Ben are like, they have to go really over the top with their banter between one
Mhm.
another because we need you to know that they're these kind
Yes.
of buddies that give each other shit.
Yeah.
Like
It was very
it,
understated but effective.
yeah. So it's just a more
Mhm.
natural, like none of it's annoying sort of thing. And I also like
Mhm.
that Ben didn't, he wasn't just like, oh, I'll smash things and then be mopey sometimes. Like I feel
Right,
like Thing
right.
can go into that territory if handled poorly because like, oh, it sucks that he can't turn back into normal self. He
Yes.
has to be disfigured versus everybody
Mhm.
else. But then I'm just gonna be angry and hit things, like,
Yeah, or be klutzy and bump into things and like, "Oh, I just, like, can't get a handle on my size,"
yeah,
and this version of, Ben/Thing, slash thing, um, had moments where you could clearly see him regret or wish for a return to normalcy, but it didn't define him solely, and he had at least learned how to fit within his new form, his new body. And I thought
yeah,
that that was very poignant, um, and a nice contrast to not make him so, like, bumbling fool, kind of like, "I just can't, get
yeah,
used to what I am now." It's like, "No, I'm used to it, and I'm sad at times. I wish I could go back," which, who wouldn't think that at some point in time? But
yep,
there was a little more acceptance and a little more peace that suited the character.
yep, yep. Then I have to talk about one of the bigger concerns was gonna be, and this is the way I would always veer towards, you know, trying to stay source accurate if you can.
Okay.
They went and they took the Silver Surfer and they swapped her. I know it's a different character from the comic books. I know they've done it in the comic books, but this is it's not the Silver Surfer that sold millions and
Mhm.
millions of copies everybody is familiar with.
Yes.
So to take it now, Marvel officially to do it and not do that version is a choice.
Mhm.
Um, but I will give them I give them a pass on this one because it wasn't arbitrary. Because they
Ye
use this to create an extra depth for Johnny
I
and
agree.
a whole
Yeah.
connection there that gave
Yes.
Johnny something to do and gave
Yes.
us a new like it so it
It
meant
was funny
something
and
and I really
poignant.
liked it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There were comedic beats, obviously, where, he was like, "Oh, I know what you're thinking. Johnny has a moment with the alien space," like, it was
Yeah.
funny. There were
Yep.
funny moments. He's like, "Of course, like, the one time I'm interested in a woman, and it's this
Yeah.
one, or stop trying to tell me how to kill sexy aliens." Super funny, but
Yep.
also, like, he was motivated to learn the language and communicate with her, but not only for just, like, hitting on her. It was, like, a poignant moment to be like, "I'm just trying to save my planet just like you did,
Yep.
and you made this sacrifice," and, making her a mother who made a sacrifice as well, like, just
Yeah.
it added layers of depth to the story that, like you said, didn't feel just arbitrary, or we're just making this choice because there were really thoughtful nuances that went into making this choice, and I appreciated
Yep.
them for what they brought to the
Yep.
story.
And you believed it at the end then when
Yes,
she knocked him out of the way to try to
yes,
atone here, like,
yes.
that made sense, you know? So
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
so
clearly
I thought
nobody
that
else
was
had
good.
made that effort, and, he was it really lent a beautiful depth to his character that he could be sympathetic and empathetic to her plight, and then also apply the pressure of being like, you know, I'm gonna apply the guilt. I'm gonna, really
Mhm.
twist your heartstrings here because this is the same thing I'm trying to do. And what have you done to these other worlds, that were just like yours and just like mine? Um,
Yep.
so yeah, so I mean it was really complex, I think, for Johnny's character to show
Mhm.
all of those things that he was capable of.
Yep. Agree. So it's, again, we're just taking all the characters, we're just adding depth, we're making them less, caricatures, making them more real. And then we gotta talk about Sue, of course, too, which, like, on
Mhm.
paper, looks like the most perfect casting of the group. Um, and I really like Vanessa Kirby in the Mission Impossible series.
Mhm.
Um,
Love her in The
thought she
Crown.
did
Side note for my period
okay,
drama
yeah.
folks.
I heard she was in that.
Wonderful.
Um, and I thought She did a good job of I mean, this story centers around, like, new parents, so I guess I'm biased, that it's,
How can we both not be?
yeah, right, you know? But I liked particularly, standout moment is her going out with her baby to introduce them to the, uh, raucous crowd at the foot of the Baxter Building. And
Mhm.
you know, that was kind of the theme here that I think that a lot of, again, Marvel writers, and I saw this come up with a IGN writer, not understanding heroes. Like, if you want to talk about the things that make a hero and people human, it's this. I won't sacrifice the baby. I'm not going
Mhm.
to do it. Like, that's the choice the machine will make. That's the choice the calculating, weighing the scales one or the other. That's what, that's a that's a, like, horrible thing that people have done and had to do throughout history.
Mhm.
But when you have your inspirational tales of heroes, that's not what they do. that's a
Mhm.
different that's a different thing then. And so her whole thing to them was like, I am not going to sacrifice my baby for you, but I'm also not going to sacrifice you for my baby. Like,
Mhm.
basically, we're not going to give up. we will not
Right.
we will not we will not um, warp our values and diminish human life in the face of evil. Like, we
Mhm.
will, we will achieve it, we'll conquer it, whatever it may
Mhm.
be, and, like, that's it's just great. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much to say around those things. I mean, the second that Reed makes his blunder at the press conference and says, Galactus demanded our baby. I was like, "Fool!"
Yeah. Yes,
You
exactly.
should have really just stuck
Hmm.
with he demanded too high a price because
Yeah.
everybody
Mhm.
knows, people are going to be coming after your baby now. Um so, I mean, obviously he was in shock and just like didn't think
Yes.
about the ramifications because normally, of course, he's the guy with, the plan and thinking about, 20 steps ahead. But um I really liked that, once he had said those things out loud and put that dilemma out there, he and Sue had very uncomfortable but realistic interactions with each other where he was like, "Yeah, I thought about, you know, the scenario in which we're supposed to sacrifice our baby, and I understand why people are asking that of us. It
Hmm.
doesn't mean I'm going to do it. It doesn't mean we're going to do it, but I understand where their fear is coming from and why they're demanding this of us now and why they're outside the tower, saying the things that they are." And she's, like, "I hate that this is how your brain works." And it's very real. Especially real for, if you're in a relationship where your thought processes don't always align and your empathies can lie in different places, or, you approach a problem analytically differently, where, he thinks like, "I understand why they're doing what they're doing," and she's like, I hate that your brain even goes there. I don't want to
Hmm.
give sympathy to these people who are demanding the sacrifice of my baby." But, eventually they both come to a place where they can tackle the problem together, just differently. But it is
Yep.
uncomfortable to watch. It is uncomfortable to watch their fight and their disconnect there, and her saying like, "I hate that you are the way you are sometimes." He's like, "I know, I hate it too."
I
So yeah,
mean,
it was a
it
really
is.
deeply flawed human moment for them to have as a couple.
Yep. I mean, it's man and woman. I mean, like, it's often as simple as that. Like, people are thinking differently, and right, it's a realistic situation.
Mhm.
Um, Again, handled well. You know,
Yeah.
nothing was. No one's being beat over the head with anything. There's a lot of stuff that you doesn't have to be, like, called out or spoken or whatever. Even.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought all that stuff was great. It all that stuff made me care for the characters a lot. And that all came after what was a really cool action sequence. Like the
Oh,
surfer
the space
chasing them
chase.
through space. Yes.
God dang, that was
That
cool.
was
Yeah. Yeah, it's a space journey that started off with, like, a big question mark for me because they were like, "We're gonna go and we're gonna, fight Galactus," and I was like, "But how? What you gonna do?" Again, they'd made so much of Reed being the guy with a plan, and I was like, "Yeah, so go into space, track the energy signal, and then"
well,
they
they
didn't
have
give us
to.
anything.
I mean, because they don't know anything.
I
They
know, but
can't
it's
really.
so odd for, like, the 20,000 times the movie had said, like, I run through these scenarios, I have plans, I have X, Y, and Z, and I was just like, "But here, when you're going to confront Galactus, I have nothing. I have nothing of like, we'll smash the Silver Surfer, and Johnny's gonna do X, and I'm gonna do Y." Like, there was no plan for me
Hmm,
to
okay,
follow. So I like, again, it was like a very small moment that I was like, "Hmm, interesting." I mean, I still buy it. They've still gotta go and they've, gotta figure out how to save Earth, but it was just kind of like a little skip over. And then the second they came out of the wormhole and Galactus slash his ship erupted out of the core of that planet, it was like a jump scare and so amazing and awe-inspiring and impressive. It just, like, set a tone for the whole rest of that sequence that, like, my emotions and my engagement was just up here, and it never wavered.
nice. Yeah. I mean, you had to nail Galactus. You had to nail that. Like that he's this force that who's gonna make
Yes.
Silver Surfer bend to his will, and that's
Right. Right.
um so it's really cool. We got I don't remember how to say his name, but he's the guy with the cool voice. He's in The Witch, he's in the new Nosferatu. He's got the really good deep voice. That's who's Galactus. It's like
Oh, oh,
even
oh. No, no, that's
Ethan.
yeah. Alan, help
Um,
us out, please, if you would.
but he's got a great voice, and
Yes,
he
he does. He
actually
has a great
there, Ralph
yeah.
Ineson.
Yep, thank
He
you so much.
he actually plays Galactus. He has a suit. They
Yeah.
dress him up in it, and he's like around miniatures and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. It wasn't just like
Yes.
straight all CG and everything.
Mhm.
Um, and so yeah, great voice. It was I don't know. They handled him well, and the whole like running from him was great. Running from the surfer. I mean, you
Yes.
definitely
Oh
had to
god,
make
the
a lot of
whole
leaps.
yes.
Like okay, we're gonna slingshot around it, but setting this in a different time,
So cool.
different time period for Earth, different dimension,
Mhm.
universe or whatever. Um, you can just kind of let some of those things go. Because if it
Yes.
was in ours right now, you didn't have all the inventions that Reed has made and the
Yes.
different
Yes.
alternate version of Earth, you'd be like, wait, what? We can do this,
Yes.
whatever. So, but
Yeah.
different. So I was able to
But
just let
because
that sort
yeah,
of thing go.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree because Reed Richards exists in this universe at this time. Yes, I was able to let a lot of it go. Um the things that had nothing to do with him were a little trickier to believe. Honestly, like the whole space chase was super cool. The wormhole and Silver Surfer getting sucked into the black hole. Oh
Hmm.
god, visually gorgeous, so stunning, and just like you could just feel the desperation of like, "No! How could you trick me this way?" Yeah, amazing. Honestly, really the thing that was toughest to believe was giving birth in space.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm like,
no medical equipment, no sterilization, no being able to cut the umbilical cord, just like, "Baby, she's fine."
yep.
Yeah. That was a bit
I
stretchy.
mean,
but at the same time, amazingly cool because, Sue Storm was a badass. She's in labor, going through contractions, and yet, Reed is like, "Can you give us a couple minutes of invisibility?" And she's like, "Ugh." So, yeah, it was moments of, being badass and then also a little bit unbelievable.
Hmm. Well, I think of it like people, there are in our day people that have give birth in the backseat of a car, like
Yeah,
all
sure,
kinds of things, that just
sure.
like inopportune moments, and it
Absolutely.
works,
But
like.
but generally, they have access to medical care within, several hours.
Mhm.
Just,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say that Reed, I don't know what his degrees are and his
Somebody
expertise, but
figured out
oh,
something. Sure.
they have what? Um,
You're right, right.
that
You know what I'm saying, though. Like, it was still a
yeah,
bit like,
yeah.
"Don't look too
I'm
close,"
I'm
but
just like, when are they
we'll
gonna
buy
take
it.
her pants down, and like, because they just the way they frame it, just like just not ready at all, and then just
I
there's the
know.
baby.
Well, yeah, she does kick her pants off in, like, one scene. You see,
Oh,
like a
okay.
foot and, her pants floating away, but also then, like, Johnny looks back, and I'm like, "That's your sister, bro." Like, you're gonna see a lot of your sister, So, yeah, there was just several moments where I was, like, very aware of the realities, having
Yeah,
gone through childbirth, where you're like,
right.
"Oh." But yeah, it's
Yep.
it's again not enough to diminish your overall enjoyment of the movie and your overall like willingness to go with the flow of the plot, but it is just kind of like a
Yep.
okay, gonna take it. It's not super real, but I'll forgive it.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. So I love some of the shots in this movie. They were just
Mhm,
I need to see it again to like write down some of them better, but there was just a few of the Silver Surfer kind of silhouetted. I think of Johnny going to
mhm.
meet the Silver Surfer the first time. There were just a few
Yeah,
shots, and then of course, like Silver Surfer like going away, but also besides just special effects shots, I mean, just really well put together, dynamic looking frames that I really liked. Um, that stood out. I really liked the mid 60s future, retro future, world fair vibe. I love all the things they made. I was like, I want that turntable and those headphones Johnny has.
yes, love.
Um, that stuff was great. So, um, let's see. Anything else that needs being
Yeah,
said? Like,
I mean, speaking of kind of like the technology vibe, I really loved the book ending of, the TV show that the Fantastic Four were being interviewed on because it gave a great, beginning retrospective of their journey, and how they
hmm,
gotten to where they are. It was like a believable way to like recap their beginnings without like going through their beginnings, which is often, I think, a trap of superhero movies. And then bookending that at the end, kind of like post all of their adventures. I really enjoyed that. It was like a very, again, like time period specific way of,
yeah,
introducing the characters to the public and kind of like their interface with the public, but also, you know, um, I felt like TV was kind of a thing throughout because of course they had that plaza square where all of those interactive TVs were built in, presumably by Reed and other scientists. And, that's how Johnny is able to like broadcast those messages and kind of like overwhelm Silver Surfer. So TV was kind of this, you know, background, but also central technology to the movie itself. And I enjoyed that.
mm, sure. Yeah, I guess if I think of like some of my you know problems or things that are maybe a little too far, I don't know. I had issue with um I mean, it's a this is a one, the population of Earth, this Earth, is incredibly dependent on the Fantastic Four, like crazily dependent. I mean, the fact I just felt these scenes where they would be like, we have nothing. The Earthlings have nothing. Their leaders have nothing they can do or say or anything to the threat. They felt like with the TV show and too,
Oh,
like
I see.
how they're seen as heroes, that they just, you do it. You take care of us. Even the way the Fantastic Four have like taken this responsibility, like we will save
Mm.
you. We will, it's like they have been put on absolute the pedestal, and the
Yes.
rest of humanity is like so reliant upon them
Mhm,
for the technology and to be saved from threats and you name
mhm.
it. you know Sue sets up her own leadership thing, and
Yeah,
seems like the president doesn't even need to be there. And then the technology that and it's just like, it
but
was
that's I
weirdly
think
and a little scary how the
yes,
population.
it was, and I think that was part of the point too, I mean, that's part of why people are so willing to demand the sacrifice of their baby because they're so used to the Fantastic Four saving them, that's all
Mhm.
they have. They don't have any trust in anybody else. They don't have any, reliance on anybody else. It's always been them. So, for them to be like uncertain or being like, yeah, I don't know if this is the thing we can do. They're like, yeah, no, you basically like set up a system where you take care of us. So yeah, do it.
Yeah.
And I think that, the movie was very subtle in its, I don't know, and maybe this was my own interpretation, but I think it was very subtle in its sort of like cautionary, like, you can't just rely on this small group of people all the time.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I
Yeah, I
I
was wondering.
I
That was what I was wondering if that
agree.
was intentional.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I hope it was intentional because if so, I thought very effective. But yeah, I agree that yeah, Earth was clearly so dependent on them, but also it made it easier when it came time to like build the device where they were going to teleport the Earth, which everybody had to know from word one was never going to be the thing in the movie. They were never gonna move Earth. It was never gonna happen. Um, so yeah, but it made it, seemingly plausible that they could get enough international cooperation from all of these countries to build these devices to try and do it.
Right. Yeah, that was the worst part of the movie, was this idea, the plot to move the Earth. It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's been done in Doctor Who, and they actually did it, and that was we just accepted
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
to me, it was the two things that then were, was that, and then the fact that Sue was going to space pregnant. I was like, that is a wrong
Yeah.
decision. But but
Seems so implausible. But yeah, I mean, the Earth moving thing I accepted because I was like, well, it's never happening. Not just because, that's not our own reality, but just because a Marvel movie would never end with running and hiding. Um,
sure,
so, I just accepted that that was their plan because it wasn't gonna work. But yeah,
right.
Sue going to space
I
pregnant, I was like, "Can allow that? Would Reed allow that? Would anybody be able to
well,
survive, like, the actual
yeah,
space journey with their baby unharmed?" You
yeah.
know? Yeah.
That's where I thought, it was again drilling home that Earth was so dependent on them, and they had no other choice. So they really
Yeah.
like, look, this is coming. We're all going to die either way. So either we try
Yeah.
this and we need Sue for it, or
Mhm.
we're going to die anyways. And then the same with the teleporting the Earth. It's like we're out of options. We can't fight Galactus. We can't just defeat him. So
Right.
what are we gonna do? This is our only shot. And then the
Right.
Silver Surfer comes and demolishes that shot instantly.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I
but
knew
it's
something was gonna happen, but I did enjoy the, like, "Whoa!" Like,
yeah.
there she is. There it's happening. She's
hmm
she's free from the black hole, so
hmm yeah. So yeah, I guess I just read it as desperation. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, we're just probably all gonna die together. This is what happens. Galactus comes and eats the planets. We're gonna do the best we can. This is the idea we have. It technically is possible here. I don't know what their energy source is, but boy, they got a good one.
Yep.
But it's like I don't know what. Yeah, I want to know whether they got fission or fusion or whatever. They got that unlocked because the power to
Yeah.
move the Earth there. Um, but you were able to like let that go or whatever, and that was all. That was okay. The improbability here, and
Yeah, like I said, I knew it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna happen,
okay.
so I just thought
But if
like,
you were a citizen of the population there, I mean, are you
"Oh,
just
sure." I
like
mean,
enough people are just like gullible, like, oh yeah,
sure.
of course they always save us, so it's gonna work. The Earth is gonna be moved
Yeah.
in space.
Yeah, I think they would. I mean, as a whole, because you're so scared, you're looking for anything to latch on to. You've already seen this team of heroes save you so many times. They've never let you down before, so there's a lot of trust there. There's a lot of goodwill, and Reed shows them all how he can move the egg, and he just makes it seem so simple. Like if we just do
Sure.
it, like it's gonna work. So I mean, at the time, yes, it also must have seemed like such incredible technology, an incredible thing. I mean, it's still at this day and age to teleport anything, any distance would be this amazing breakthrough.
Right.
So I don't think we can discount the fact that like Reed does show them something amazing and for the time and even this time, very implausible. So sure, why not? Why couldn't we move the earth if we can move an egg?
Because we need a receiver at the other end of where the Earth is gonna be, right? If it's gonna be if it's gonna be beamed in one spot, it's gotta
I
be like
I agree I agree,
re-beamed
but
out
I
on the
think I think you're approaching this with like a very modern skepticism, and that just wouldn't
okay.
have been the attitude of that moment or that time.
Of these people,
They
for sure. Like, again, I
yeah,
think it just further drives home the, like, lavish
dependence.
dependency on the Fantastic
Yes,
Four. And so I
yes,
would like to
absolutely.
hear someone talk about that element of this, like this Earth and whatever, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree
But
with you,
mm,
but that's
yeah.
that's sort of how
Okay.
they make it work, and that's how they
Mhm.
make it work that, number 1, their first plan, everybody just sort of goes along with, "Hey, we're gonna be moving the Earth, and we're all gonna do it." And all the
Mhm.
countries just, like, build the things, and it starts to work, and it's pretty damn cool up until it doesn't. And
Yeah.
then part 2, where everybody just agrees, everybody in New York just agrees to go underground to Subterranea,
Mhm.
which is a whole, like, side plot of this movie that I did not expect to be relevant and then was like, "Oh, sure. Like, yeah, this works." Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, again, it's how everybody just agrees to take buses underground.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four got a
Yep.
plan, must be good,
Yep.
must be, something that could work, so just gonna head underground with the quote unquote mole people and
Yeah.
wait it out.
Yeah, I guess, Mole Man was, this director's worked on Always Sunny, and I guess
Oh,
he gave him his, like, first job in Always Sunny, the Mole Man guy, so,
sure.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
good.
Well,
Um,
I don't know. I
yeah, I feel
just
I feel like there's
I
there's 2 other things I wanna touch on, but
sure.
whatever else you wanna say too for your experience or your, takeaways from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, just overall, I went in skeptical, pretty much like I've liked, a lot of the first decade of Marvel movies. I grew up with a lot of the cartoons and
Mhm.
comics, but they've really shit the bed in the last 7 years or whatever it's been, and kind of they don't deserve any of my trust or but this film, regardless, was great. I had a lot of fun.
Say they don't have much of your trust.
No, they don't
Like
deserve
like
any
a
no benefit of the
small
doubt.
modicum of trust, a small, like,
Mm,
modicum of hope. Maybe not of trust, of
okay.
hope.
Hope. Okay. Hope. All right. Yeah. I
Okay,
mean, I've heard the stories that they're, like they're tired of losing money and they're cleaning house, changing the way
yeah,
things run there, all that sort of thing. And, if this is a sign of that, then ultimately I don't care. I liked this movie a lot. So,
yes, yes, do more of this. This was good.
mhm,
Um, yeah, the 2 other things I felt like, needed to be touched on are obviously the final battle between Fantastic Four and
mhm,
Galactus, because not only was it epic and amazing, and Sue Storm really just, like, once again shown, with her mastery of her powers and her willingness to sacrifice for the good of the planet, but also for the good of her baby.
yes,
We get our ending where, we finally get to see a first glimpse of baby Franklin's powers, where Sue Storm has made the ultimate sacrifice and passes away. And little baby Franklin is able to bring her back, and she's kind of got this like galaxy, you know, eyed look before she fully resurrects. And it's like, okay, so some serious level powers of which we're, not certain, but we know are pretty major, that involve
yep,
resurrection. And, Galactus is obviously after him because he's like, you can absorb my hunger, which we knew for the
yeah,
whole movie, but we really didn't have any evidence of his belief. So yeah, this is our first sign that baby does indeed have the powers that have been either feared by his parents or sought after by Galactus.
right,
Um, and then moving through to the ending sequence, as a side note, I loved I loved the Fantastic Four, going to introduce their baby on this like TV show, and then they get an alert that they have to go. The car seat, the baby
yeah,
car seat installation in the car was so relatable as a parent. I loved it so much. They could not have like made that gone on long enough because it was so freaking funny. Do you know what I mean? Just like the way that they were like, "Oh, jam this in here. You got to buckle this here.
mhm,
No, the clip's going this way. Oh, just jiggle it. Jiggle it." Like, just so relatable, whether you're a regular, ordinary human or, a person with superpowers. Car seats and baby, paraphernalia are nearly impossible to figure out. So well done, Marvel, for that bit of humor.
yes,
But then moving to our post-credit sequence, we got our first glimpse of Doctor Doom visiting
yes,
a, 4-year-old. We made a 4-year jump, a 4-year-old Franklin, and them
yep,
like having a moment together. So yeah.
yeah,
So really the end of the movie brought us a lot in terms of their son and also where Marvel is going.
yeah,
And, of course, raised anew some big questions, because, of course, if anybody doesn't know, but I imagine you would by this point, Robert Downey Jr. is cast as Doctor Doom.
right,
And, of course, he already played Tony Stark. So, of course, in my mind, it raised questions like, how are we going to see Doctor Doom? We only get like a side shot here, so we get nothing of a face. But, are we going to get a face? Are we going to get a mask only? Are we going to have an acknowledgement of Robert Downey Jr.'s amazing resemblance to Tony Stark? um, you know, what are we going to get here? And it got me a little bit excited for the next phase,
okay.
but also a little bit
So
skeptical.
going through those things,
Yes, it's a lot. I
mm,
mean, the end of the movie packs
yeah,
in a lot.
yeah, no, the whole thing at the I love, some people had an issue with Sue pushing Galactus back and some of that, but like I was talking to Ashley about it, and I agree with her. To her, it's like the sort of thing like a mother in a like crazy life and death situation lifting a car off their kid or something.
Yes,
It's like
yes. It
it's
felt
a
that.
yeah, I'm doing this because I will save my son no matter what, and she gives up her life to do it. And so, like,
Right,
I
right. It's
liked
it's
the
it's a
moment.
Yeah, it's a total burnout situation, like, she
Yeah.
knows, like, this is everything. I have no reserves, I'm not saving anything. This is just, like, everything I've got, and it's gotta be enough, so I'm pushing my body beyond its extremes.
Yep. Yep. And then, yeah, I really don't know much about Franklin Richards other than he's crazy powerful. It's all I've
Mhm.
ever really known, and he's always just been a kid in any of the comics I've looked at and stuff. So,
Yep.
um, be interested to find out more there. The car seat, Ashley and I definitely looked at each other. It's like this is definitely too real
Yeah.
right now. So,
Yes, God.
uh,
Yeah, if
it's,
you're a parent, this just had to be a moment of like, "Thank
mhm.
you. Thank you." You can be the smartest person ever, and it's still like, "Why? Why do we have trouble with this? What
Mhm.
do people do to us?"
And then with Doctor Doom, so yes, very confused with the Robert Downey Jr. thing. I think it's very strange that they brought him back and they're paying him so much money. It's crazy the amount of
Yes.
money they're paying him to come back. But
Yes.
after this movie, I have a theory. My theory
Okay.
is that in this timeline, Tony Stark didn't become Iron Man, he became Doctor Doom. So he is Tony Stark
Mm,
and he is
but
Doctor
he's
Doom.
Doctor Doom. Okay, okay. Interesting. I hadn't thought of
Oh,
that,
hold on,
so I
hold on.
like it.
My earbuds died. No.
No.
Thought I make it.
No.
Um, okay. Are you talking?
Alright, take it easy, Johnny
Oh,
Storm.
there you are. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You
Sorry.
just need
So
to dye
yes,
dye those whole bad boys gold. Yeah,
I
no,
know.
I hadn't thought of that, and I love that. I do.
It would
Like,
make way more
that's
sense, right?
awesome. Yes. Yes. Because I was like, "What are they gonna do? Are they gonna acknowledge, are we gonna gloss right past it? Are we gonna acknowledge it? Like, is there gonna be an explanation? Or are we just gonna have to, like, accept it?" Yeah. So I love that idea that, Tony Stark didn't become this hero. Instead became Victor Von Doom, or, whatever they're gonna
Or
call
maybe he
him,
calls
I guess,
himself
Doctor
that,
Doom.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
Maybe it's
like,
like it's an alternate personality, alter ego kind of, something
yeah,
happens. So yeah,
because
I would
maybe
love that.
like in, MCU before Tony Stark is grappling with the idea of like his company providing weapons of
Yeah.
war to different things and like the accident, attack or whatever. Really, I forget how the movie goes exactly, but puts him in the desert and puts him in this situation where
Right.
he's injured because he gets the cord in his heart and stuff, and all energy stored, all that becomes Iron Man.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, which on this version of Earth, it's
Perhaps it didn't.
they basically there's like a big demilitarization across the world. So presumably
Yeah.
you have Tony Stark still as a genius, but he's upscaled by um Reed, and he's put out of business because now his
Mhm.
weapons of war are he has no industry there
Yeah.
to sell, so he becomes something else. It leads down a
Or
completely different
yeah.
path.
Yeah, or I mean, it's possible, thinking of the time period in which this is set, this would be Tony Stark's father really running Stark Industries.
It,
So, I mean,
if
there's
yes, if it lines up the same way, yes,
I
right,
right, right, right. If it does
yes,
line up the same way, which, I'm gonna, like, assume for the time being
sure,
that
yeah,
the timeline at least lines up, even if, like, the trajectory doesn't. So yeah, so I mean, he would obviously have to adapt and go into something different. So
mhm,
there's infinite possibility there, you know, that again, like Stark Industries begins creating weapons, but is like shut down because the Fantastic Four are like brokering peace across the world. So what do we do with all of this?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's really interesting, and I love that.
So, but then the question will be, how do we meld with the rest of the MCU. I'm sure eventually
Mhm.
the Fantastic Four will end up on our regular MCU Earth and timeline and everything.
Sure.
I would
Yeah,
guess.
I don't really know. Um, I don't really know what the timeline is for Marvel and if, Avengers Doomsday is near or far in the future. And of course, we've heard of nobody else being committed to coming back into any of their roles, or at least as far as I
Um,
know.
no, yeah, that's not true. They did this whole thing a while ago, like covering the backs of like those chairs sets that have all the actors' names. They were like
Mhm.
panning down them. They got tons of name like Kelsey Grammer and stuff. Like all these people. They're pulling in the people from he was Beast. They're
Yeah.
pulling in the Fox X-Men people. Like it's gonna be a mess of like all the things from
But
the
like but
past
like
put together.
there were several people whose contracts ended as, like MCU heroes.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some like um what's her name? Scarlett Johansson's not gonna be back.
Right. So,
Chris Evans
well,
isn't gonna be
yeah.
back,
Right. So that's what I mean. Like there could be like an interesting mishmash of people because yeah, like Captain America, as far as I know, isn't going to be played by Chris Evans and possibly isn't going to be in Avengers Doomsday.
Right. It'll be Falcon, it'll be the people we have left, um, and then the people from, and Thor. So like the people that are left, I don't it's like Shang-Chi, um, Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, um, Ms. Marvel, Daredevil, um,
Mhm.
Shuri, Black Panther,
Mhm.
um, then who else? Well, then the Fantastic Four now, and then they'll have just all the people from like Fox stuff, all the X-Men and different things and all that in there, and
Sure.
then this will all, I'm sure, reset at some point. So they're going to do the thing we really thought they were going to probably try to do way back in WandaVision, that like when Marvel, we thought Marvel was leading to something, and
Yes.
then they never did at all.
Yes.
They're gonna actually, I think,
Which was
actually
very
finally do it.
frustrating.
Yeah. So
Oh, so Avengers Doomsday is slated for 2026. That's
okay.
interesting. That's sooner than I had thought.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
Winter
we do have a we
Soldier.
do have we do have an interesting mishmash of people.
Oh yeah, Namor. I forgot about him. Ant-Man. Um, Black Widow. Yeah. Beast.
Because we have some old school X-Men in here,
Yep.
like Rebecca Romaine Stamos, or Rebecca Romaine now, excuse me, returning as Mystique, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler. Oh
Yep.
no, no!
Yep.
Channing
Channing Tatum
Tatum is in
as
there.
Gambit.
Get out!
Hmm.
Get out! Ugh.
So apparently, there's gonna
Look
there.
forward to my, like, loathing, scathing critique of every single moment he is on the screen as Gambit. I can't. It's not that I don't like him, but no. This is
It's
not the right casting.
probably be the Guardians. There's rumors that there's gonna do another big list of new people coming soon. That confirmed or
Sure.
whatever. So it's
Oh, Paul Bettany.
well, yeah,
Some
well,
form of vision supposed to
White Vision or
be.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. Oh, Ian
So
McKellen, Magneto, Patrick Stewart, Professor X. That's the old school I'm here for.
so I hope they can pull it together.
Yeah.
Like I hope this is a turning point, but we'll see what happens because this movie isn't doing well. Um,
Sorry.
Fantastic Four
Fan
is
Oh,
not
Fantastic
doing
4
well in the
isn't
box
doing
office.
well?
No. Um,
Shame. Go see it,
it's
people. It's so good.
I know. It's I mean, I just it shows to me that none of Marvel's
It's
movies
gotten
this
great
year.
ratings.
I know. I know. Critics and audiences, you know.
Yeah.
critics and
It's
audiences like it.
wild. Yeah.
But
Get
it
over
just
yourself
shows
and
the
go
brand
see it,
damage,
people.
like the people just don't trust it anymore. I think a lot of people be like, well, I'll wait and try it at home then. You know, I'm not
Uh-huh.
going to spend the $15, $20 per ticket plus snacks and an evening out that I can't pause the movie. And depending
Mm,
on where I'm at, like people are obnoxious on their phones or something,
sure.
and I'll wait and see at home.
Sure.
So
Yeah, while I understand, I will definitely, make the plug for people to go see it because I thought that several aspects of it, including Galactus slash his ship, their impressive size just really translated so much better on a big screen.
yeah.
It felt so much more impactful. Like I said, it was honestly like a jump scare for me when his ship burst out of the core of the planet that he was currently devouring. And I was like, "Holy."
Hmm.
I just really couldn't get a grasp on, who or what he was and why he was such this destructive force until I saw and felt it on the
Sure.
big screen.
I
So,
mean, eschewing the fear of me just being labeled a Marvel shill, I've been telling people to go see it. Like people have been like, "Oh yeah, you should just,"
yeah.
like I've told my sister, told my
Yeah.
in-laws. I was just, trying to like, yeah,
I mean,
go
at
give it a
this
shot.
at this point, if anyone has ever listened to an episode of this podcast, I don't think we could be called Marvel shills any more than we could be called DC shills.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
But yeah, I have to agree with you. I understand the hesitation, but no, I would absolutely wholeheartedly encourage people to see this on the big screen
Yep.
because it's that good.
Yeah. All right, we're in agreement. Excellent. Oh yeah, I was supposed to tell everybody that Pete, our guest Pete, author Peter J. Gilbertson, he also saw it. He just couldn't make the show today. Two thumbs up from
Yes.
him. So here's a comic book
Wonderful.
movie that we agree on. Pete and I just
True.
like
True enough.
disagree on all of them now these days, but not this one. So
Yeah,
bringing
I mean,
fans together.
yes, it feels like your disagreements are more recent. I feel like most especially there was disagreement among Moon Knight. That's
Yes.
the one I remember the hardest butting of heads, but
Mhm.
yeah,
But
this one
I
this
think
one
it
brings
was a
people
symbol of
together.
like how kind of universally appreciated and praised a lot of the early Marvel movies were. People
Yeah,
just agreed on them, It
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's like
They were just such quality movies, and I mean,
mhm,
again, you had your stumbles, you had your Thor: Dark Worlds and whatnot, but still, you
yeah,
were like, "Still, I'm still willing to go along with,
yeah,
like, the overall trajectory of this and the overall, like, quality is there to sustain me from movie to movie."
and those were with characters that I just don't care that much for. They still made
Mhm.
me care enough. I care
Yeah,
about these characters more, and they made me care about them here as well, you
yeah.
know? But, yeah, so I don't know, go give it a shot. I haven't seen I wasn't gonna probably see it either, and that happened too. So now I'm telling everybody, go for it. I haven't seen Superman either. Have you seen Superman?
No, no, but I'm hoping to, this next week. I wanna go
Okay.
see that.
I heard it's coming out like to buy digitally before long. So I'm like, do I just wait now or not? I don't know. But if I can sneak off to it, I still will. But
Yeah, same, same. I'm hoping to sneak off to it, as I still have my Alamo season pass, and I just want to
mm,
see if I can sneak that in there. But
the
if I
next time
can't,
you get
I'll watch it
there,
at home.
let me know if they have any Fantastic Four like merchandise because
Yeah.
normally, see, here's the thing. Normally, every big movie they have like a glass for, and I'll get
Hmm.
the glass if I can. I'll have someone get it for me or whatever. And uh, Tara told me now that they had nothing for. I don't
Mm,
think for Superman or for Fantastic Four. So I don't know if
mm,
they're like quitting on the merchandise stuff. If
hmm.
it's not doing well for them or what.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I
But
will. I'll be sure to check that out the next time I'm there. Hopefully, it'll be soon. But I'll let you know.
oh, here. Wait a minute. No way, Alan. I'll share this August 15th. Superman movie digital
What?
release date is in 2 days.
No.
Yep. You can buy it in 2 days. I'm sure it won't be streaming, it'll be buying it digitally.
Sure.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
See, it just, I mean, we're in a weird world now. I don't know, because Superman is, not doing probably enough to make money either at the box office. I don't know for sure on that one as much, but
Sure.
better get those at home sales. Hmm. So now what are you gonna do? Still go
I mean,
appreciate it on the big screen?
still, yeah, still probably go try to appreciate it on the big screen.
Mhm.
'Cause I mean, it's fully available through next week. I can buy tickets, so
Okay. Okay.
we'll see.
Nice.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm gonna try to get to it and, it's part of my season pass, so, like, I only have to buy them. I don't have to actually pay anything. So,
Okay. Well, maybe that should be next because I'll just buy if I can't get the theater, I'll just buy it and watch it at home. So talk about that
sounds good.
next. Okay, well, everybody, that's Fantastic Four, and that's another episode of Popcasts on the Rocks. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time. Make sure you like, share,
Good.
subscribe, and all the applicable places. Popcasts on the Rocks. You can find us. Killing the Flower, they wrote our theme song. You can find them on music streaming services. Peter J. Gilbertson, as I mentioned before, he is an author. You can find his books on Amazon. And Mike, a regular guest, Track Mouse. You can find him on Instagram and YouTube. So, yeah, that'll be it from us. Andrea, thanks for joining me.
Of
Excelsior.
course. As always, cheers, everybody.